I get really concerned when they try to brainwash other server members to carry out their dirty plans. Here's the thing, I don't even care if this is unconfirmed or it's like a work in progress thingy. If at work in progress stage or unconfirmed stage it's already this bad, nothing good will come out of it. So before anything bad actually comes out of it, I need to put a stop to this kind of bad planning. Because the thing is, if your fundamentals aren't right, nothing you do will end up right. There is just so much wrong going on here. Okay, the first thing is how many services they are clogging, uh, they are sending to Bukit Gombak MRT and basically clogging up the bus stops. The bus stops, they aren't really that big, and that's why currently there is only 945 and 991. They wanted a 994 from Tengah to Bukit Gombak MRT, and it's like it kind of loops in the same way as 945, but in the end they rejected it and just decided to make it into 871. Why? Because oh my god, they know the issue that Bukit Gombak MRT's bus stops are already like they're very small. There's not even a lot of space to work with, and it's clogged. That's why you don't worsen the issue by just introducing whatever the fuck you want and just clogging up the bus stop. How much do they even? You got one, two, three. And the thing is, with the three of them, no, actually they have four because they didn't even touch 991. So it's like they got this, they got this, they got this, and then they got this, which they changed a little bit. You are doubling the number of services. It's the same thing as UT. You're doubling the number of services at an already tiny bus stop. It's not going to help. And that tiny bus stop, it's a major bus stop. It's an MRT station. So, oh my god. I'm going to talk about 187 first. And this is the reason why you guys need to learn your bus history. I'm not talking about first generation. I'm talking about the current generation of 187. From 1988 till now, 1988 till now, I'm gonna draw it out for you guys. Has always served this area, West Avenue 2475. Repeat after me. 187 from 1988 has always served Bukit Batok West Avenue 2475. 2475. Ni, Yon, Nana, Go. 2475. What makes you think it is okay to fuck over all these people and change it so that 187 goes 57 Bukit Batok Road? Reminder, yes, there is an old bus service called 989 that actually serves whatever I've drawn out in dark blue. But 989 and 187, they serve completely different purposes. And it's not just 187. There is 188 as well. And there is 985 as well. And for a period of time, there was a 985, I think it's W, trial that lasted like around 6 months. They tried to make it so that there was a variant of 985 serving West Avenue 7 and then there were like bus stops on both sides of the road. But that trial failed and they decided not to continue with that variant. Just because you have this and this, it doesn't necessarily mean it is okay to amend this to serve another area. One reason why is because this connection has already been here since 1988 nen, okay? 1988. I almost messed up my words because of how stupid this plan is. Go macro view a bit. What I mean by this is, where else does 187 serve? Where else does 187 serve? I feel like I'm talking to babies at this point. You know what? I'll just quote the entire fucking route. Boon Lay Way, Jurong West Street 51, and West Avenue 1, and East Avenue 1, and Bukit Batok Central. And then on the other side, there is Bukit Panjang, Marsiling, and Woodlands. Tell me, does 985 go to Boon Lay Way, Jurong West Street 51, Woodlands, Jurong West Avenue 1, East Avenue 1, Bukit Panjang, Marsiling, Woodlands? Does 188 go to Bukit Panjang, Marsiling, Woodlands, Boon Lay Way, Jurong West Street 51, West Avenue 1, East Avenue 1? Do they even serve these areas? No, right? And that is precisely the fucking reason why... Oh my god. That is precisely why from here to here, I mean to here as well, you keep this entire sector of 187 intact because they need a bus to Jurong West Avenue 1, Jurong East Avenue 1, Bukit Panjang, Marsiling, and Woodlands direct. The reason why 187 was even extended to Woodlands in the first place was because, okay, fine, I'm gonna tell you, like, what the hell is this? There was a 951 and it got converted into 180, and because of this, the so-called 180, the second generation, if I'm not mistaken, of 180 no longer serves Marsiling and Woodlands, right? So in compensation, they extended 187 to Woodlands. I mean, at the same time, they also converted 521 to 963, right? They extended 187 to Woodlands because they felt that, okay, back then this area wasn't really that developed yet. It was just mostly forest. I mean, that's how the bus routes changed over time, right? This is important because, like, you need to know your history before, like, doing this kind of retarded bus planning. Okay, so 180. It doesn't make sense to send a bus service from here direct to Marsiling and Woodlands, right? Because back then, Tengah didn't exist, and Bukit Batok West was like, it was like the entire area, like this area was just forest. So during that time, it didn't make sense to run this bus service to Marsiling and Woodlands. But inside, it was already developed, and you cut off 180. I mean, there's no more 951, right? You cut off 180 from Woodlands and Marsiling. So in compensation, because there are actually people inside, like, you know, people inside here, you establish the connection to Woodlands. I believe it was like year 1996, if I'm not mistaken. Like, from 1996 onwards, these people, they have an alternative to Woodlands instead of like going to Bukit Gombak and then taking MRT to Woodlands, because MRT is crowded, and they give them the option of taking 187 from these areas direct to Marsiling and Woodlands. I mean, Panjang, Marsiling, and Woodlands. Okay, and like, there's not much going on here, and then there's not much going on here when it comes to, like, you know, the housing density and all sorts of things, right? That's the reason why this and this they push them along this corridor as opposed to like this corridor, because no point, right? It's like 188 already goes to Choa Chu Kang, so you don't want it to serve here. 985 also already goes to Choa Chu Kang, so you don't want it to serve here. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can just make 187 do this. No, because 187 from 1996 onwards, from these people here, they have a direct connection to Marsiling and Woodlands already. You cannot just take it away from them. This is what I mean by, if you want to amend bus services, you need to know the bus route's history, how it changed over time. And this is why I make all those videos, but apparently people don't fucking listen. You know why? People from Woodlands and Marsiling, they have MRT, so they don't want to come here. They want to go to the areas whereby it's pretty much inaccessible, like 駅から離れたところ. How do I even say it in English? Basically, areas that are completely, how do you translate 離れた to places that are like far away from that are inaccessible, hard to reach from the MRT station. Like you get what I mean, right? Like nobody from Marsiling and Woodlands, they want to do this. And nobody from Bukit Panjang, they want to come here as well. I mean, if they wanted to, they would probably find some way to intercept 991 or something along those lines, right? Yeah, so this area is far away from MRT. This area is too close to the MRT. So what do you do with a bus? You don't make it duplicate the MRT line for no reason. You have to serve this area. And I know there's this thing, oh, I just want to hotspot to Bukit Gombak MRT. Well, there's already 991 and 945 that does the fucking job, and then 871 also does the fucking job as well. So there is really no need to... You know what? You guys need to get your fucking brains checked. And I'm not targeting this against like any particular user or anything. I'm just saying in general, you need to stop doing this kind of bus planning. Next one, what did they try to do with 945? Well, they tried to be like, what is this again? You do realize the problem with this, right? Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys about the history of 945. I mean, even back to like the 365 days, okay. Number one, 945 used to loop like this. They decided that this loop was kind of lackluster, so they extended it so that it touches Avenue 4 as well. Basically, what they're trying to do with this current loop of 945 is that if you are along Bukit Batok West Avenue 7, or if you are along Bukit Batok West Avenue 4, you could hub spoke inside to reach Swiss Cottage Secondary School. It's a hub spoke thingy. You bring them from outside inside. And it has to be from the correct side of the road, like this and like this, not from fucking here where there's like no bus stop, right? Is there even a bus stop there? There is no fucking bus stop here. What are you guys doing? There's a bus stop here, there's a bus stop here, there's a bus stop here, there's a bus stop here and here. I mean, from here, here, and here, if you want to go here or here, just take 945 inside. Nobody wants to go from here to here to here! Like, do you guys even check the bus stops before trying to amend stuff? The existence of the bus stop placement. The other function of 945, oh my god. The other function of 945 is that basically, especially nowadays, there's no more 989, right? Well, you still have a connection from Bukit Gombak to West Avenue 7 and West Avenue 4. Nobody wants to go here. It's just forest. Nobody wants to go here either. They want to go here because there are flats to the west of it and there are flats to the east of it. Okay? There is no flats over here right now. I know there will be, but there's no flats over here right now. Okay? And because of this, I mean, like this bus stop and this bus stop, 945 is basically a hub spoke thing, and it's not just to Bukit Gombak. They could hub spoke to like these areas, the Masjid Al Rauda, the mosque over here, and then Bukit Batok as well. But it's more for Bukit Gombak MRT. The purpose of 945 is basically to let people get from this area to these areas. It's maximum catchment. So I don't know which genius decided it was a good idea to like,
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's completely sandbag this area.
this connection from here to inside here and to inside here, from West 74 to inside here, it has already been there ever since the beginning of time. Do not touch it, okay? And I just found out that like, okay, they made it serve like both directions. No! 945 is currently the only bus service that goes from Bukit Batok West Avenue 5 to 7. So I don't know why the fuck you guys want to shift this bus stop here. It doesn't even make sense. It's supposed to be like this. Come on. Like, this bus service is the only bus service that goes from West Avenue 5 to 7. Don't shift it for no fucking reason. You want to shift it, you're gonna have to explain people who use this bus stop that like, oh, there is no more 945 going here anymore. There is no direct bus from here going to here. Oh my god, it's so dumb, because it's like, how are you gonna fucking explain to people who use this bus stop over here? Like, oh my god. You know there's no bus stop over here, right? There's no bus stop over here. So which is the nearest bus stop that they have? It's over here. So basically, people who rely on this bus stop, like basically these flats, they actually rely on this bus stop. So why are you shifting it down here? Look at your fucking bus stop placements. Oh my god, I really want to cry. Oh my god, Ave Maria, Gracia plena, Dominus tecum, et benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Jesus. Guys, you know what's worse, right? They literally tried. Okay. No. Okay, 871. I know I know the previous plan was this and this, okay? I know that was the previous plan. They decided to cut costs and basically consolidate everything into just one route instead of making 871 ply the west Bukit Batok West, like the area that 66 serves, right? So I'm like, okay, fine. Now that residents are already used to this connection, don't fucking touch it. Once you establish something, it is hard to break it. Unless it's clearly an interim bus service like the what the oh my god, the rebranding of 34E into 44. Okay, I finally remembered what I was trying to basically 871, right, goes into Tengah. I don't have to explain that. I mean, then, oh my god, it serves Bukit Batok West like this, over here and over here, and then it brings these people to Bukit Gombak. Not just that, excuse me, it also brings people to his school. So 871 is kind of like a school bus to Hillgrove Secondary. So basically, it's convenient for people who live in Tengah, who live in Bukit Batok West. They want a direct bus towards Hillgrove Secondary. So yeah, basically, that's why 871 even exists in the first place. And it's also to bring people from Tengah and to bring people from Bukit Batok West. And to bring people, it's basically to give them an alternative to like 992. Okay, not really, but like it's Tengah, Bukit Batok West, Bukit Batok East, like this entire area. It allows this entire area consolidated into a single service. I know 871 is windy, I agree as well, but the main purpose is basically to hub spoke all of these people to Bukit Batok East Avenue 3, and I know it's slow, but it's to hub spoke everybody to here as well as like to here and to Beauty World MRT as well, and even the ITH in the future. That's its purpose. Maximum catchment, right? To hub spoke all of these people to the key areas. And it has to be a direct ride. So once you establish a direct connection like this, you cannot break it. So I don't understand why these people want to like split it. And you know, the biggest insult is what they fucking did with 301. Like, guys, I know I used to say that, like, you know, 301 has extension potential. It can potentially link up with 181's extension to Tengah. So when you do like, here's the thing, if you actually want to do feeder integration, this is not one way to do it. You don't use a fucking feeder to replace a sector of a trunk of another trunk that has got absolutely nothing to do with the feeder. If 181, let's say it terminates at Tengah right after the extension, and you want to take this opportunity to link it up with 301, whereby it's convenient to link up the end of 301 without really breaking any connections to 181, right? One example is basically 63. It used to loop at MacPherson Estate. And then there was 382, which used to be UNOS to like Ubi Road 3 link, right? And they found it that they're like, okay, I don't want to make a, I don't want 63 to be bi-direction. Sorry, I don't want 63 to be a long loop service anymore. I know there's the whole conversion of Rumah Tinggi into a proper bus terminal thingy, right? But in the past, 63 used to be like Bukit Merah. Yes, Bukit Merah interchange to MacPherson Estate loop. Once the MacPherson terminal got demolished, it got converted into a loop service. And then after that, they cut it short so that Jalan Rumah Tinggi, which was the terminal back then, I mean, now they're gonna reinstate the terminal, but it's like Jalan Rumah Tinggi Rumah Tinggi bus terminal to MacPherson Estate loop. This was back then before it was like UNOS to before it was UNOS to Rumah Tinggi terminal loop. So they were like, okay, looping at MacPherson, it's like, okay, the BCs don't even get a break because at least when you so-called loop at Rumah Tinggi, they have a break. But Circuit Road, Pipit Road, it's a continuous road, so you don't get a break like this. So because of this, and they wanted to effectively, quote unquote, make 63 bi-directional, they looked at 382, which was like kind of a little out of place. So what they did was that they merged 63. This is feeder integration done properly. They merged these two ends. Sorry, the end of 63. Oh my god. With the end of 382. It's basically like, you know, service 38, which was like the end of 220. They cut off New Upper Changi Road and Bedok South Avenue 2. They linked it with the end of 290, which was Simei Street 4, but then basically they just linked it up like this. Just one direct connection like this. It was convenient for them to do so. And then in the case of like service 3, you know, 294, right? The end of it without touching the sectors. You know, 294, the loop used to be like Street 21, Avenue 2, Street 23, 21, right? Basically what they did was like, they broke the left turn, which not in all cases you can do this, but they just decided to break the left turn, convert it into bidirectional, make it into service 3, and then pretty much the eastern end of 357, which used to be 352 by the way, and then they broke 357 used to loop like this, kind of in a similar fashion as present day 359. So they broke this sector and basically linked this up to 294, and then it became service tree. And then the end of Street 71, they broke this and then they extended it to Pongo. But this was done out of necessity because people from like Street 21, they wanted better access to like Loyang Avenue and not the bus stop over here. They wanted this bus stop pair and this bus stop pair as well. So SBS basically gave them what they want. People from Street 21, really, Pasir Ris Street 21, they really wanted to access Loyang Avenue, right? So only because it was convenient to do so, that's why they merged these two into a service tree. And you can kind of say the same for like 220 and 290. Just because a few services they do feeder bus integration doesn't necessarily mean that it should be applied to every single other feeder bus service. They only did this because there was an actual need and it was convenient for SBS to do it. When you actually carry out this kind of like feeder bus integration, you need to do it properly. They didn't break any sectors when it comes to service tree. They kind of did break up Bedok South Avenue 2 because they realized that that bus stop is kind of useless and people could just take a bus from like service 9 and 35 from New Upper Changi Road, right? So they are like, and then there's also service 222 to Chai Chi as well. So from New Upper Changi Road, so they are like, okay, usually when they do this kind of feeder integrations, they don't really sacrifice like a whole lot of like bus stops and stuff like that. Like essentially they do it properly. And it's only, again, it's convenient for them to do so. Maybe I should show it like this. In the feeder integration between 385 and 226, they didn't break anything for service 60. 63, they technically did break one bus stop, which is Ubi Road 3 if I'm not mistaken, but it's already close proximity to like Ubi, was it Avenue 1 or Road 1, but you get the idea. It's close proximity. This one, they broke Bedok South Avenue 2 and New Upper Changi Road. But when they broke it, they already had ample compensation in the sense that this bus stop, they could already walk here, and then there's already like other bus services outside, like this kind of thing. 35. This one, basically, like I told you, they kind of broke this like from outside to inside hub spoke thingy. They broke the left turn from Tampines Avenue 2 to Tampines Street 23. And I don't even mind them breaking up all the bus stops here because right now, modern day, at present day, after years, they finally re-established this connection with 359. So all is good, right? And the residents, they specifically wanted a bus to Loyang Avenue. That's why from 357 that looped like this, they made it so that service tree, they consolidated it into service tree. Now there's this bus stop pair and this bus stop pair that you can hub spoke from in both directions. This is exactly what the residents of Pasir Ris Street 21 they wanted. And then what else did they break? Pasir Ris Street 71, which basically it's a really close proximity to like Pasir Ris Drive 1, Pasir Ris Drive 10 in the first place. So it's okay to break. Yes, they did break all these sectors, but there is actual justification in the context of like service tree. Because really what they did, I mean service tree used to loop at Street 71, but they extended Pasir Ris Street 71 and then they extended it to Pongo, which still remains as one of Pongo's most useful connectors today. Like it connects people from Pongo Central, Pongo East, more of like Pongo East and Pongo Field to Pongo TP bus stop, because Pongo TP bus stop, there is an insane load, a whole load of demand from Pongo TP bus stop to Cove Meridian and Coral Edge LRT. It's from TP bus stop to these areas. They need service tree. So, but the main thing is that when they feeder integrate, it's from the end to the end, like kind of this kind of thing, and then from the end to end. This one I wouldn't even say anything because it's literally just combining two feeders together. This one is the most straightforward one. This one, again, from the end to the end, delete the sector, and then they just link it up like this. That is how they feeder integrate. Nobody is fucking asking you to break up an essential bus service like nobody is asking you to do this. And what the hell did they do it? Oh my god. I don't know, like they just broke up 871 and then one half of it they are like what is it? One half of it they are like
You know what? Let's replace it with 301.
dude, like when you guys feeder integrate, you do not extend a feeder service, fuck over a trunk service, and let the feeder service cover the entirety of the trunk service. This is not how you fucking feeder integrate in the first place. And may I ask the person who did this, what the fuck were you thinking when you decided to break up 871 in the first place? Sure, I know 871 is kind of windy, but they had the connection is already established. And did you even understand the purpose of 871 before breaking it in the first place? Okay, let me show you 301. Okay, before that, let me show you 300. The reason why you cannot feeder integrate 300 is because, number one, the people along this bus, at this bus stop, from 67, 188, and 976, they find it very convenient that at this bus stop, they could take service 300 to access here and here. You get what I mean, right? Like, you alight from 67, 188, and 976, the trunks, then you hub spoke onto a feeder. You don't have to go all the way to Choa Chu Kang. At this bus stop, you already have a transfer at the same bus stop to 300. And not just that, service 300 is a school bus service. Choa Chu Kang Primary, Bukit Panjang Government High School, Concord Primary as well. And basically, it's kind of like, it links Avenue 4 and Avenue 2 together. And basically, looping here is the easiest way to, again, link Avenue 4 and Avenue 2. And I mean, it's the easiest way to tie the route up together. I don't know how you say it, but it's like, it's the easiest way to plan a bus route. To consolidate the route together, to tie the route together. Basically, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I know historically, 300 used to be green and white plate. Basically, the route was like this. That was historical. And they tried to convert 300 to G and then tried to make 301 apply here. And obviously, I've already made tons of videos saying why people rejected that idea. And they preferred this version of service 300. The residents themselves rejected it. So this is why 300, it needs to stay like this. And that's the reason why 300, it has to do this loop. I know historically it did this, but right now this sector is being covered by like 983 and 301. And especially 301. And because of this, you shouldn't touch 300. Now for 301, the current, I mean, I know 301 was, in the past, it was planned like this, right? But again, because of the whole controversy and stuff like that, they decided to make 301 like this instead. They changed the final route of it. Now, 301, yes, it is correct. This service, it's like, it doesn't really do a lot. It is essential, but it's the remnant of breaking up 300 into 300, 301, and 983. Like, 301 is kind of like a fragment of it. That kind of thing. So, and if you find that 301 is like a little bit useless and we could give a little bit more use to it since it's a fragment, okay, I agree as well. We could extend it like this. And this kind of works in the same way as service, you know, 294 becoming 3, right? So you're not breaking up the route at all. You keep this. The only thing that you change is that from here, you you could do this sector like 386. One side is for towards Choa Chu Kang, one side is for towards Tengah and Boon Lay, right? And then the same thing opposite bound, you do this. So you don't break any sectors. I mean, yes, you could make it call Avenue 5 like this, both bounds. I don't recommend this, but I don't recommend this and killing off this sector. You could also do this, but I think the people along here, they would not be happy, especially if they want to access Choa Chu Kang primary fast and then you just killed off their fast link. So to keep it simple, we would keep the entirety of 301 like this, with reference to, like service 294 to service 3. We could keep it like this. And because of this, you realize with the whole 63 and 382 thingy, right? Since 181 is going to Tengah anyway, we could basically link up 181 and 301 together. So with reference to this, this is one of the rare cases whereby you could feeder integrate. And the other service that you could apply it to is probably, let me just go to Hougang, 329. Because 329 currently, 329 isn't really that important along Buangkok Link. It has to serve Buangkok Crescent. Link, not as much. So if you wanted to extend 329 up to, like, let's say Sengkang West, I'm fine with it. Like let's say you want to extend it to Sengkang West Depot or something along those lines. Or even if you're crazy enough that you want to link together, you want to link up 329 and 374 in some way, I kind of don't mind that, because it's like, the only issue is that they are from two different planning zones, so that's why they cannot be a feeder. They have to be a trunk right now. And I don't know the residents' reaction to this or what, but it's like, if you wanted, like, let's say 329 integrated with something like 374, I would allow it. Here's the thing, like, feeder integration is a thing whereby it's a very niche thing, and only in certain cases does it actually work, or it actually turns out worthwhile. So this shouldn't be like a whole nationwide, countrywide thing. Only in specific cases can you actually do that. Like, for example, what I described just now. I haven't came up with a way to do this, but because I kind of don't encourage it. But if you want to try, you could try something along these lines, because it's just, you're not touching 374, you're not touching 329, except deleting one bus stop at Buangkok Link, which is like opposite the HDB estate, which is not that useful in the first place. Yeah, there are some compromises you have to make, but it's still not like the worst idea. Like, this is still something that is like possible. It's the same thing for like 181 and 301, because in this case you're not like deleting any bus stop, and you're applying what you've learned from like 63 and 382. One trunk service, untouched. One feeder service, untouched. Completely untouched. And all you're doing is essentially just linking them up together. Yes, some bus stops may have been sacrificed, but like for the most part, they are being left untouched. This is how you do feeder bus integration. Nobody is fucking asking you to fuck over an existing trunk service and extending a feeder service for goddamn fuck knows I don't know what reason. You do not extend a feeder service to cover up for a trunk being cut. That is what feeder integration is not about. It's not about. Because when you do this, you have to take into consideration that there is already 991 nearby. And because 991 and 301, I mean, they don't serve the same areas, but it's in like the same general area. There is already 991 that does this, so there is really, fuck my life. There is already 991 that, I don't even know if this guy knows that 991 exists, okay? Like, 991 literally, okay, fine. I'll fucking draw it out for you guys. Oh my god, you guys piss me off a lot. And I only even need the map. I've memorized the routes anyway. 301 and 991. Okay, let's do this, shall we? 301, this is Choa Chu Kang Loop, Avenue 4, Choa Chu Kang Way, Avenue 2, 1. I'm gonna have to draw it like really, really small, right? This is 301. And then 991, I'm gonna have to do this. This is, okay, I got it. Yes, something like this. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit jank, but this is Avenue 3. Yes, this is Avenue 3. Like this. Can you see how close proximity they are in this general area? And basically this is like, yeah, you get the idea. And then I know I didn't draw it properly, but you see, this is 991 in red. And what they fucking propose is basically for, oh my god, this, what did they do again? What they did was basically, dude, it's so stupid. To take over this sector. Can you see how much duplication you're incurring with your new 301 and 991? And not just that, you just fucked over all of 871's residents. Is it even worth it? No, you killed off this bus service for a new bus service that fucking duplicates another existing bus service. Do you see how stupid this is? Fine, and if you are as blind as me, I'll erase. Fuck. Since I feel like I'm talking to fucking children, okay, I might as well just erase the parts that are like not relevant. Just gonna ignore everything. Can you see how much your new 301 and 991 duplicates each other? Do you see it? Do you? All this just to kill off 871. This is not how you do feeder integration. No. This feels like, especially the sector, it just feels like as if you're doing it for the sake of doing it. Because,
oh, this guy apparently does all his rapid buses and does all his feeder integration. Oh my god, he's the smartest bus enthusiast in the entire Singapore.
You got impressed by this guy and you were like,
oh, let me do my own feeder integrations.
And this is the kind of fucking rubbish you come up with. Nothing personal, nothing against you, but it's like, can you know what are these people doing? You're like brainwashing people to do all this. And in case you delusional fucks say something like,
oh my gosh, ZBK Vogren doesn't understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to make more efficient resource usage within Singapore buses. That's why we introduce all these rapids and all the feeder integrations.
Shut up. I know what the fuck you're trying to do with 990. Let me just tell you, without you guys even explaining to me, I know what the fuck you're trying to do. Because it's a feeder integration, right? Your dirty plan is basically to extend 990 to Tengah and fucking eat up 947. I know 947 isn't the most useful of like feeder services, but it does have a purpose. Let me tell you what 947's purpose is. Very, very simply, like as if I'm explaining to a toddler. Fine. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in so that you guys can actually see the fucking bus stops. So, I'm going to explain to you why 947 even exists. So, bear with me. You see, 187, 188, and 985, they already serve this area, right? And then, because there is no 985W, there is no 989, there is literally nothing, right? You need another bus service to serve this area and bring them to Bukit Batok. I mean, Gombak is it's an MRT station, but it's not the main hub. The main hub is at Bukit Batok, and it has to stay at Bukit Batok. Nobody is fucking asking you to give them a bus service to Bukit Gombak. I mean, if you wanted to, you know, with the new Tengah trunk services that are coming up, maybe you could extend. No, sorry, maybe you could route one of the trunk services to Bukit Gombak. I don't give a shit. I mean, there's already 871 in, if you think about it. So even then, fine. Even if you don't want 871 because, oh, it doesn't serve the areas of Tengah you wanted it to serve, you want a new trunk that serves this area, passes through this area and goes to Bukit Gombak. Okay, fine. Introduce a new trunk service then. But basically, this area, they need a bus to Bukit Batok. So what do? Like this, like this. 1 unique bus stop, 2 unique bus stops, 3 unique bus stops. 947 is the only one that takes you from this bus stop to Bukit Batok interchange/MRT. And because of that, what is the best way to not overcomplicate things? 947, like this, like this, like this, like this. And if I were to say it to you guys in fucking simple words, these people, they want to go outside. They take 947 outside so that they can access this bus stop, so that they can have access to this, to the future this, and whatnot. Okay, I don't know if 171 is gonna to Tengah is gonna pass by this bus stop, like the proposed extension. I don't know, but you get the idea. They want to go outside. They take 947. These people, they want to go inside to Bukit Batok West Avenue 2. Again, it's the exact same thing. From here, this general area, they want to go outside, they take 947. They want to come from outside, they want to go inside, like let's say they're coming from 160, 180, or 984, or whatever the fuck other services that there will be in the future. They take a bus, they take 947 from outside to go inside. They take 947 from inside to go outside, and they take 947 from outside to go back inside, to like go back inside, to go back inside. You get what I mean, right? That is the purpose of 947. So as useless as it seems, 947, it is to cater towards this entire cluster of flats. And when the flats here open, they have a bus to get to Bukit Gombak, okay? And let me tell you another thing that you might not be aware of. Listen up, you little shits. Shit, these bus stops, they have access penalty towards like Bukit Batok MRT. That's why a lot of people, if they have a bus at Bukit Batok interchange, they will take it. Like 947 is here. 947 has to touch inside Bukit Batok interchange, okay? And that's the other reason why there is still even demand for like 61, 852, 106, 990, and stuff like that, because they all originate in Bukit Batok interchange. No one wants to go outside, like no one wants to cross over unnecessarily just to take a bus. I mean, there is 157, there is 174, but if you're asking me or any other residents, they would rather board the bus at Bukit Batok interchange because it is nearer to the MRT station. Bukit Batok residents have been commuting like this for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. That is something that will never ever change. And 990, the purpose of 990 in the first place, okay, I don't even need to use the map right now, but I'm going to show you guys what 990 is fucking supposed to do, okay? Since you guys have proven to be completely incapable of doing actual bus planning, okay? So this is 990's route. 990 is basically meant to cater towards these people, okay? Like, yes, I know I'm talking to you guys like as if you're children, because you are, but 990, no access penalty from the interchange, this bus stop, this bus stop, this bus stop pair. 990 is meant to do this. If you wanted to extend 990 to Tengah, you would have to make it call inside Bukit Batok interchange twice. Or maybe do a service tree solution in the sense that like do it like this, and then the opposite bound you do it like this. But then again, there are consequences as well, because these two bus stops are already quite hanareta. What's the English word again? It's quite far away from like the. It's not the nearest, I would say. It's walkable, but it's not the nearest. There are gonna be still drawbacks if you do that. Okay, and within Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Within Bukit Batok, shit. Within Jurong East, basically. Oh my god. 990 does this so that it's like a fast turnaround. It doesn't have to be bidirectional because they're emphasizing on a fast turnaround, like 116, 240 at Jalan Ahmad Ibrahim, or 116 at next, left turn to Upper Serangoon Road, left turn to Boundary Road, and then yeah, that's called a fast turnaround. Because space issues, you cannot squeeze 990. It doesn't hurt to loop. Also, one other thing that you guys haven't taken into consideration, do you realize that over here it gets completely screwed during peak hours? Okay, have you guys even noticed this? 990 is one of the services that gets affected by the congestion that's northbound. Usually it's northbound. And because of this, when you use 990 to eat up 947, basically like whatever the fuck you just did over here, you are essentially transferring the problems. Like 990's reliability is being impacted by the congestion over here. So you are essentially transferring the unreliability of 990, which is caused by the congestion, onto a feeder service which is meant to be fucking isolated from Jurong East and all the congestion along here in the first place. 947 only travels within Bukit Batok. I mean, except it could get congested here sometimes, but at the very least, it's a left turn out and another left turn in. Quick turnaround as well. Correct side of the road as well. What was I about to say? If you integrate these two services together, the resultant service, you are unfairly bringing the effects of the congestion to 947 residents. This is the reason why 947 has to stay isolated within Bukit Batok. If you want to extend only 947 to Tengah, I could accept it, because it will not get affected by the traffic congestion along here. Whatever the fuck you tried to do with 990, this... What the hell? What the hell is this? It's so stupid. You extending 990 to eat up 947, you are asking for trouble. 947 has to stay isolated. Let's spell the word together. ISOLATED. The root word comes from isolate. And if you guys do not understand American English, isolated. Okay. 947, likewise with other feeder bus services, they have to remain isolated because You do not bring in congestion, external congestion from other areas like IMM, like the expressways. You do not bring these kinds of congestion from the outside world, from externally. You do not bring these kinds of congestion to a feeder service which is only meant to be confined, which is only meant to travel within a town or a big area or two big areas in the context of like Tengah and Bukit Batok. Do you guys fucking understand? ISOLATED, isolated. ISOLATED, isolated. ISOLATED. Do you need me to repeat in my Japanese accent so that you guys can understand? 日本語わかる？交通渋滞を避けるため、単区間路線を延伸しないでください。ご延伸しませんようお願いいたします。バス路線を延伸したかったら、こちらを使うよ。みんな頭悪いんですよね。私からのアドバイスを聞きたくなかったら、路線改正、路線延伸を諦めようよ。僕は何回も言い繰り返しても、彼らはしつこい人なので、厚かましい人なので、絶対に負けないので、バス路線の歴史とか、こういうアドバイスを頭に入りたくないみたいな感じですよね。ごめんなさい。何が言いたいのは全然忘れちゃった。何回も言い繰り返しても頭に入れない。全然入れないよ。どうして？本当にしつこいんだよ。間違えてフリーズしちゃった。やばいんですよね。言いたくない。続けたくない。本当にもう言いたくない。皆様、バス路線の歴史を学びたいよ。わからなかったら、バス路線の延伸を考えてない方がいいですよ。考えない方がいいですよ。OK。1988年からBukit Batok West Avenue 2, 7, 4, 5を通ってきたよ。そのバス路線がなくしちゃったら、みんなが必ずクレームしてるよ。わかる？みんな本当に頭悪い。